Welcome to the How to Heal podcast, the show where we explore real life stories and practical tools to thrive. I'm your host, Lindsay Richter, and through over a 15-year journey of all things healing, I'm here to hook it up. If you're feeling overwhelmed, looking for a deeper connection, or straight up in a psycho-spiritual crisis, I got you covered. Let's unearth your unique elixir to purpose, peace, and progress. Here we go. Welcome back. We are getting into mindset and high performance. That is this week's topic. I hope you guys had a good week and that you've been sticking to your non-negotiables. How are your non-negotiables doing? What are your non-negotiables? If you haven't created non-negotiables, you're starting at this episode, go listen to the first two integrated episodes to understand what I mean by non-negotiables, what I mean by goals, and what you got to be doing, okay? You got to be doing it every day. Again, what are we doing every day? We're ruminating on our desired feelings. So I hope that you're doing that. I'm feeling very expressive today, creative. Right before this recording, I was singing Billy Joel. I may post that on Instagram, so if you go on and go check it out, it's probably going to make you laugh because I'm ridiculous. I also sound like Donald Trump. So when we talk about mindset, what is mindset and why do we do mindset? The reason we do mindset is because it allows us to embody confidence. And when we are confident, we are able to handle tasks with precision and focus. The more we handle tasks with precision and focus, the more inclined we are to invest back into our process because we see that it's working. So it is a self-sustaining wheel here, a self-sustaining investment that you're going to make when you do mindset. So just to sum that up, confidence bleeds into mindset and mindset bleeds into confidence. And if you've been listening for a while, you know I always say clarity, consistency, confidence. Clarity, consistency, confidence. Clarity in the things that we want to be consistent on breeds confidence. So let me just give you a quick story to exemplify. So before I was at Starbucks, I was desperate. I'm like, I gotta do something. I didn't like my job. I didn't like the company I was working at. And I had gone to a well-known real estate Christmas party that had sexy elves. If you're in the real estate industry and I'm bringing up sexy elves, I'm pretty sure you know who was hosting this party. I didn't want to go to this party, but I was like, you know what? I'll just go. Like, I need to network. I went and I met our broker at the time who was handling the company that I worked for, their account in the boroughs. And we were talking and I thought nothing of it. She was, professional in the industry. So that was Christmas time, December. And then I would say it was come May. The guy who used to work in my role reached out to me. And he's like, yeah, like Starbucks is hiring. This woman who I had met at the sexy elf party was like, Lindsay should interview. And I'm like, yeah, I would love to interview. So I didn't hear back for quite some time. And it was a little risky because I was leveraging someone that we were using in-house for another job. But whatever, I went with it. And I ended up getting the interview and I bombed. When I tell you I bombed the first phone interview with Seattle, someone from Seattle called me to screen me. I bombed it. And I was like, I can't believe I did that. So they had reached back out to me by some miracle and they were like, all right, this person wants to get you on the phone. So what I did was I had an interviewing packet that I had found online somewhere, and it prompted all these questions, these interview questions. And what I did was I answered every single question by writing it down and getting extremely clear on the answer that I was saying. Because in all fairness, I didn't have the experience. I didn't have the confidence, or I didn't have the experience. So I wrote it down. And then after I wrote it down, I dictated my answers into legitimately, this wasn't even that long ago, but a tape recorder. I guess it was long ago. It was like in 2013. I dictated my responses into a physical tape recorder, which I think we should use more of these days because they're just cool. And I listened to it and I was mortified. And what did I do? I did it again and I did it again and I did it again until I got so good and confident and clear on my answers that I nailed the first interview. And then I went in and I proceeded to interview a total of 5 times. And I just recently told the story. I was at Penn 6 on 31st between 7th and 6th. And this is my 5th interview. I finally just slammed my fist on the table. I was like, this is my job. I am your girl. I will do whatever it takes. And that confidence came from the clarity and the consistency of practicing what I wanted, what I knew. And that's what I'm talking about. That is the mindset that we need to get into. The clarity of what we need to do, what we want, the consistency of keeping to look at how to get clear. That will give you the confidence. That's mindset. Confidence is mindset. So we're going to just go into what different kinds of mindset there are, because I think, I'm saying, yeah, confidence is a mindset, of course, but also there are, fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is someone who's like, things are going to stay the same. Things are difficult. I'm not going to, not being willing to see things in a different way. As opposed to growth mindset, which is I'm open to learning new things every day. I'm open to experiencing things in ways that I've never experienced before. Then you have money mindset, which was so helpful for me to wrap my head around getting my finances in order and just really, again, being clear and having clarity around, okay, this is how much money I have. This is how much money I have on credit cards. This is how much money goes out every month. This is how much comes in every month. This is what I have in my 401k. This is what I have in my savings. This is what I have, et cetera, et cetera. So just having that clarity is the crux of mindset. You need to start where you are and you need to accept where you are. And that's how you move forward. Consistently looking at where you are, what you want to do and be and feel, and continually doing that process until you get confidence and you start to believe it. So let me just give you a couple of different mindset exercises. Whether it's journal dumping, which I talk about a lot, just going down and writing as long as you can about anything, just to start to get to the real thoughts that are in your head. Affirmations. So Louise Hay wrote a book, You Can Heal Your Life. She wrote many books under that umbrella, but she is like the queen of affirmations. And affirmations can be a little removed. So I would just suggest, if you come across something that feels so good in my body, that is your affirmation. I'm famous. I'm rich. I have a partner who loves it. Like, if those things feel so far out of your periphery, don't even bother saying those things. That's where let's not waste time. Let's downshift into where we really are so we can see and feel exactly where we are. I'm all about reaching for the stars, but when we get into actually doing the work, it has to resonate with us on a physical, mental, energetic level. Affirmations, if they resonate with you, great. If they don't, then I would suggest don't even do them. But sometimes what I love to do while I'm journaling is gratitude is a huge part of what you could be doing daily in terms of your self-care practice and your non-negotiables. And the great thing about gratitude is that you can write about all the things that you're grateful for and be really specific about it and why. Why are you grateful for it? And then you can be future tripping on things that you're grateful for. And that's sort of affirmative. Those are sort of affirmations. As you write, I'm so grateful that I've put in the work and now I'm starting to see results in X, Y, and Z. Basically, manifesting future successes and being grateful for them now. These practices of getting everything down on paper and focused writing, organizing the thoughts, the clarity that comes after this focused writing, it empties our head. And that's what we want to do. We want to empty our tank. Just like I cut off all my hair so short. I know, I feel like I'm from Best in Show. The only thing I'm missing is a Weimaraner. So intense with this haircut. We need the clarity. I used this as an example before as I was getting ready. Like I chopped my hair off and now I'm like working with nothing. I'm bare bones and just working to get my hair longer. All right, let's build it all. Building my podcast, building my business, building my offer, building my following, building my hair. The point is you just get empty the head, the tank, decluttering. All right, I don't want to get off track here, but I want you to, when you think about mindset, empty the tank, get into a positive headspace, get clarity on what you want, and continually do that every day. That is what mindset is. You can also listen to content like motivational speaking, whoever gets you hyped up. Brendan Burchard is an OG coach. Go check out his content. Esther Hicks on a more spiritual side, and Abraham. That is the foundation of the book, The Secret. There's any sort of motivational or affirmative podcasts that are going to get you in a positive mindset of I can do this. And feeling that, really just feeling that it has to resonate in your body. You have to be vibrating with it. That's the secret. Because there is a direct connection between frequency and belief. Because if you hear something enough in the right way, you will believe it. So that's why I'm saying with the affirmations, you don't want to just go and write affirmations. You need to feel the affirmations. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. So that's the mindset portion. And now we're going to go into the high performance portion. And I have a little bit of a different take on high performance. I started to talk to my husband last night. We were sitting outside in front of the fire and I was telling him my episode tomorrow is on mindset and high performance. He's like, oh yeah, what's that about? And I started talking about the mindset and then he kind of lost him on the high performance because it's a little bit more reflective. But I think that the reason I'm explaining these things is so that you understand it in a really, you understand it in your bones. So when it comes to high performance, you have to check your ego. You can't break into bad habits. So I mentioned I was a competitive softball player in high school and went and played on this junior Olympic team. I was only a junior at the time. Actually, I was very late to the game. Most people had been playing since freshman year of high school. And I went in and I had all these bad habits because I was cocky. And I would catch the ball and I would throw it up in my mitt and catch it and then throw it. And that is the perfect example of a bad habit that came from ego. And yeah, maybe I'm talking more about leadership here as well, but how many times have I tossed that ball up on my mitt and missed it and fumbled it when I went to go throw it? That's what ends up happening. And you don't realize because you're doing, you're having fun with it and all this stuff, but you have to break back into the structure, the routine, the basics, the fundamentals of things. That is going to make you a high performer. You don't just not practice. You go and you do your mindset. You go and you do your non-negotiables. You go and you hit all the things that you need to hit to be confident and to be, I don't want to say respectable, but just in integrity in what you're doing. You need the fundamentals. And for me, I feel high performance is a baked in system. I have to tell another funny story. So I worked for a company, and the guy I was working with slash for, he was giving all awards to the people around us. And everyone had really lighthearted, awards, the social maker or this person or that person. And my award was the third little pig. Now, listen, you don't refer to a woman as a pig, period. Okay. It's just not. So I had to tell him, I was like, it was a little uncomfortable to look around the room and everyone's eyes were raised because you referred to me as a pig. Granted, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And, I think he was just not, I don't know what he was. But the reason he called me the third little pig was because I built my house of bricks. I built systems in place that were unshakable. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to high performance and coming back to fundamentals. You have to build it from the inside out. It needs resiliency. It needs strength. It needs the foundation to continue and to not burn out. And we have to incorporate all the different pieces of ourselves so that we're not blindsided by something that we're trying to push down. That's what I feel like high performance is. And, I use the example of exercising. It's not just, I feel this passion, I'm going to run as fast as I can, and then I can run for 30 seconds and then I'm done. That leads to burnout. You need the strength, you need the resiliency, you need the fundamentals, you need the day-to-day, you need to put in the work brick by brick. And you need to know yourself and embody yourself and your emotions and temper them so you can channel them. So when you are fit, when you are able to run long distances and you get that spark of creative energy, of inspiration, of passion where you want to run faster, you actually can support yourself to do that. That is high performance. High performance is about endurance and strength. Endurance and strength come from repetition, focus, and consistency. So that's what I have for you today. I would suggest, if you didn't listen to the first 2 episodes, I know I mentioned this, go listen to it. If you're going to only listen to one, listen to the second. It's a great episode. I kind of give you the Cliff's Notes version of the first episode. But again, we need to be focusing on our non-negotiables. And I'm adding in the gratitude piece. So write 3 things that you're grateful for every day. And if you want to start to create your affirmations, think about what your desired feelings are, couple them with your gratitude and what you wish to be grateful for in the future, and write them as present statements. And then those can be your affirmations. So I hope this is helpful, guys. I will see you next week.